There's something na parang hindi ko alam kung tahi ba
Nilalagay
yan
ba
or
yan?
something. Tapos pati dito parang, I don't know. I mean, hey, nothing against nothing against any kind of surgery.
I mean,
if you want to get something done, by all means, if it makes you feel
Wala
better,
akong
go
problema.
for it.
Yeah,
Wala
go
akong issue dyan.
Yeah.
It was just, what a bad shot.
Kapansin-pansin lang.
Oo, what a bad shot. Yun lang parang, uy, my God, Lord, if I were Chiz, hindi ako papayag mapapost yung ganyan picture. Pakitanggal yan. Yun lang, more than anything.
Mas manalo sa akin yung all-white siyang coat na gano'n, tapos yung parang, no, bro. No, bro, no.
Man,
no,
I would
no, bro.
I'll tell you this, okay, for me lang grabe, heart really did a number on Chiz pagdating sa mga ganyan.
She's trying her best.
Yeah, but for me, man, I would never get my girl to dress me up like that. I love my girlfriend, but no, okay? We draw the line. May boundaries.
Maybe you can pull it off. No offense. No offense to him, I mean, I'm sure you can probably pull it off, but it takes kasi a certain... No, I'm gonna look bad. It takes a certain coordinates to make that kind of fashion work. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to say anything more. Baka masabing naman nila si Richard ay...
Hindi, parang sinasabi mo, binabagay din yan.
Yeah, exactly.
Ganun lang yun. May ibang look na, parang I'm not gonna be able to pull off a hip-hop rapper look with the low pants.
never know.
Yeah, but diba? Like, come on, we're not at that age.
Yeah.
Parang grabe naman si Tito, no? Pumipilit pa diba? Parang ganun.
Si Bato yata may ganun. May hip-hop siyang ganun.
Pero you were saying about the Senate. So, anong
Senate, yeah.
natin? Si Chiz ba pag-usapan natin o yung Senate overall?
His argument is constitutionally debatable. Yung tipong tapos ng session, recess na tayo, mamaya na yan, see you in June kasi hindi ko pwedeng pipilitin yung Senate to vote over this. But the fact that you already had Amy and Robin Hood Padilla and all of these people na pro-Duterte, no offense, openly saying they're gonna fight tooth and nail against this, is that they were actually expecting na magkakaroon ng trial. So it looks like, to me, that the Chiz just said, masyadong late naman siguro. Like, he just found an excuse dun sa timing to just say, ay, wala nang time. Let's just kick the can down the road. Yun ang sense ko Because sa aking palagay, some in the Senate, especially pro-Duterte senators, were prepared to fight it as early as now na. So probably, so Chiz did them favor by not even giving them the stress of that.
Okay, so here's the thing I want you to think about. Baka this is something that people can consider. The Senate now, as it is composed, with the way it's composed, would that be something favorable to convict Sara? Or
Not
is that...
convict, pero trial lang. Just to look at the facts of the case. Kasi magpapadala ng prosecutor, si Luis will go there. So, hindi makakalusot yung mga palusot in a sense that you have a few solid senators, let's say Riza Ontiveros, and then you have more than solid congresswoman like Luis Tremong and others. They're gonna give a hard time to those who want to just gloss over it. So the expectation was, at the minimum, there'll be a trial, but the voting and the final judgment, realistically, let's just leave it for after elections. Pero ang nangyayari kasi ngayon is parang the clock will start from zero again after election, and there's no assurance that the next Senate will be any more amenable than this Senate. Because if anything, people say after this election midterms, baka ang inisip ng ibang senador, their own 2028 plans, nanalo na sila tapos na sila. Do you get what I'm saying? There's a debate about probabilities, whether you can get it back. And then there's another thing I want to discuss this. So Paul Seixas survey came out, Octa survey came out, SWS came out a bit earlier. And I want to discuss it in different directions, right? So generally, pro-admin candidates are doing very well. And people like Camille Villar and Binay, Abby Binay, who were not doing very well in the earlier surveys are coming up.
Yep.
And then you have the usual celebrities, Willie Revillame, the Tulfos are solidifying their position. But Bongo is doing very well.
Yeah, he's number two.
Number two,
number three.
almost there. Yeah, almost there. Bato went up.
But still in the he may not win.
But the direction last year was actually pababa. So ngayon medyo nagsastabilize siya within the competitive range. So some are arguing, and I was told that there's some internal surveys that argue that actually itong Sara impeachment case is being used very aggressively to say kailangan natin mapanalo itong mga champions natin because kung wala sila, yari si Sara, tapos tayong lahat, kawawang Mindanao, kawawang Solid South. So they're using the victim card to solidify support around Bongo, around Bato, and the usual suspects.
And because as you said that you're saying that internal surveys are showing that more and more people are in support of the impeachment, diba? I think what will happen is this midterm elections is going to be a vote on the impeachment or not impeachment. Ganun lang yan eh. So we're gonna find out what the pulse of the people are really.
Yeah.
That if more pro-impeachment Congress representatives win and more pro-impeachment or at least administration-affiliated candidates win,
Right.
then that says that the support for impeachment is a lot stronger. So that's my
So
point.
you're more optimistic than me.
Optimistic in what sense?
No, in a sense that baka the next Senate will be much more favorable. That even if they get 2 or 3 pro-Duterte people in, by that time, the public opinion has already moved in a direction that puts enough pressure on these people to do the right thing. And by that time, the idea that Sara is no longer the inevitable successor, that Sara is not any longer invincible. Kasi if there's one thing also, I didn't mention, is pababa rin yung satisfaction and approval rating ni Sara.
Yes.
Sara is below 50% in Okta. Sara is just plus 21, 22% net approval in Pulse Asia. These are horrendous numbers for a Duterte. We're used to like plus 80 net approval for someone named Duterte at the national level. So maybe the argument could be also that you may not get the right composition of senators, but you might get the right composition of public opinion and public pressure so that the malasado senators will move in a certain direction.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking at all scenarios here, bro.
Ako lang, I'm more looking at it in this perspective na either way, whichever direction it goes, if we're gonna get that impeachment before the elections or if we get it after, I think either way is okay. If we do it now and then impeach siya before the elections, great. I have the sooner the better. I really want the Dutertes out of Philippine politics. They are such a cancer to our society. Okay?
At Rizal level yung parang...
Oh, hell yeah. Talagang sorry ako, normally, I don't, normally, with politicians, pare-pareho lang yan sa akin eh.
Yeah.
The Dutertes just took it to such a different level that like, I couldn't even try to defend what they do. It was so bad. So even with Marcos, with Pacquiao, I mean, as much as I have my criticisms of all the candidates when they were running,
we can go. Yeah, of course.
I could stomach anybody winning. It was the Dutertes. I was like, wow, this is ibang level. Kaya I say that publicly. So people that are supporting Duterte, intindihin nyo kung ano yung binabanggit ko dito. You have to first be Team Philippines before your Team Green, Team Blue, Team Red, Team Pink. Team Pilipinas muna tayo. Yun lang yun. And if you're looking at it from Team Pilipinas, the Dutertes were the worst for the Philippines. No matter how you flip it up and look it up.
West Philippine Sea, EJ case,
on every issue.
COVID-19 management,
At kahit-
Farmali,
Kahit sabihin mo
confidential
na,
fund.
kasi palagi na
Sorry, I just have to roll it out para wala na sila masabi.
Hindi, pero palaging binabanggit kasi is, pero look at the infrastructure they did. Alam mo, infrastructure
Wala rin masyado,
doesn't
actually.
say much. Because every government will have an infrastructure project. And the reason they have that is so they can spend money. It's money they don't have. Remember that, palaging pinag-uusapan natin
Flood
yung
control.
budget. Yeah, di ba? Maraming ganun eh.
flood control hindi ko yan.
Kaya that's why for me, important na malaman ng tao yan. Ngayon, if the trial does happen after, again, the midterms become some sort of a polling.
Yeah,
to find
referendum.
out, referendum of where the people are. And by then, pag nalaman ng mga senador na nanalo, we won because of this issue, then we'll find out how far it's gonna take us. And that could really seal the fate. Not just that. Remember, Sara Duterte is also facing mga criminal cases.
Yes.
With the NBI, DOJ, maybe the ombudsman, if the ombudsman acts on it. Pero maraming kaso, administrative and legal and criminal. So that could happen between now and July. So even if the Senate postpones, because Chiz is just, I don't know where his mind's at, hey.
Where his eyebrows?
Yeah, yun lang. And by the way, I'll have to add, remember that Chiz is very close to the Marcoses.
Right.
She's very good friends with Liza Araneta.
Di ba
Marcos.
waiter siya nung...
Yeah, so ganun sila ka-close nila ng First Lady.
But I want to say one thing. Theoretically, Chiz will be one of the top candidates to replace Sara if she's impeached. So I want to be just fair to Chiz.
You mean as a vice president?
Yes, because constitutionally, it could be the Speaker of the House or it could be the President of the Senate. So ito.
Either or ba? Akala ko it was Senate
hindi
first.
siya clear. Na, in the US, it's in the Philippine Constitution, medyo may prerogative ang government to appoint either the Speaker or the... But at the very least, he's going to be one of the 2 top candidates. So now I want to be fair. So sorry, Chiz, for all of the the microblading trash talk. In fairness to him, if I'm Chiz Escudero, I want to make sure that parang walang bahid na conflict of interest, right? So maybe he overdid it. And then at the same time, to be fair to him, to be realistic, I'm sure a part of him still wants to run for the president in 2028. Parang I cannot alienate millions of DDS support base. Even if shrinking yan, 1 million or 2 million votes could make all the difference in a tight race in 2028, which is not impossible. Who knows? 2028 could be a 4-way race, 5-way race, like 1992 election. So, ang sinasabi ko lang dito, bro, is for everything I throw in terms of yung mga, alam mo naman, I mean, I can get mean and all, but I also understand, well, where Chiz is coming from. But I don't want to play too much into the waiter thing and all. No, but I just want to be fair also to Chiz on that point. And medyo alanganin din kasi si Chiz kasi his rise to the presidency of the Senate was a little bit in the midst of some sort of a chaos, the Zubiri thing. And Tito Soto most likely will be back, almost certain, parating number 3 on. So medyo alanganin siya actually. His position is kind of tricky. So maybe a part of him is just saying, let's just hope for the best. But as far as I'm concerned, I want to have plausible deniability and as much distance from anything that could bite me down the road.
Or at least a semblance of neutrality.
Or neutrality.
Diba?
In fairness to the guy. So I want to be fair to Chiz. Now, I want to talk about the other part of the Senate here, brother. Sorry if I'm rushing this conversation kasi medyo late tayo nag-start and ayoko yung mga na-OT lahat ng mga nasa studio. But the other side of the story is not that discouraging. And I had a long conversation on this kahapon. Kiko pasok already sa Magic 12 in SWS, and then Bam and Kiko are just at the margins of the competitive Magic 12. For me, that's a huge thing considering from 2016, 2019 8-0, 2022 talo. Coming back from that, tapos sobrang limited resources nila. You're up against all of these big celebrities. You're up against admin bets. You're up against Dutertes.
And billionaires.
Considering that, in fairness, it's quite amazing that Kiko and Bam actually has quite a decent chance. And for me, I think if Lenny mobilizes whatever residues of the pink movement or re-energizes it completely, it might bring that few million votes that could make a difference. Kasi it's just a few million votes and then pasok na si Bam and obviously, hindi sila nag-ambition to be top 1 to 8. Really, I think they're realistically competing from number 9 to 12. And that one, all you need is statistically around 35 to 45% of the votes. So even they can even afford to not win in Mindanao at all. But if they get enough in Luzon, Visayas, and Palawan, they actually can win it. In terms of number 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember, 12 candidates ang pwedeng piliin. So ang daming room for quote-unquote mistake for other voters just to get the right voter. So I'm just saying, yun naman yung encouraging story, at least so far I've seen. Pero yun nga, kapos pa ng konti, push pa more, Lenny factor more siguro, factor more. I'm asking you because, brother, I got to know about you because I was not a crypto bro with this was because of the very passionate and very sincere interventions you had during the Pink Movement rallies. Can you tell me your take on this issue?
So right now, with regards to Kiko Pangilinan and Bam Aquino, I honestly would love to help them. If they're willing to be interviewed, I'd love to have them sit down here in this studio.
Same here.
And really talk to them. Pero, alam mo, like with any senatorial ball, I'm going to ask very tough questions that even yung mga controversial issues nila, I want to ask them because I myself as a voter have some of these questions. If they're willing to sit down, I'm more than happy to support them. Kasi even Kiko Pangilinan as a senator, I have my differences in opinion on some of the bills that he passed.
100%.
And here's the thing about the senatorial race. We were just talking about it with my friends. Sabi ko, alam mo, Richard, you can't blame the Filipino people for voting for mga sikat o mga may pangalan o mga celebrities. Kasi pag tinignan mo yung 66 candidates, think about it. Do you really have time to go over every credential of all of those people? So you first start with familiarity. Okay, so sino ba yung mga pinaka-familiar?
Baseline.
Kilala ko ba ito? Ito hindi ko ito kilala. I don't know who you are, nor would I care to spend the time to find out who you are. You have to push your case with me. How do you push the case? Do something. become viral. Something that will make me go, sige na nga, titignan ko nga kung sino tong taong to. Otherwise, hindi mo titignan eh. And then you get a Willie Revillame who helps so many people when it comes to his TV show, giving out money. Eh, how can you blame them? Na mabait naman si Willie sa amin at nakikita ko na tumutulong, eh gusto ko siya iboto eh. So there's nothing wrong with that. So what I'm saying nga is, and people misconstrued what I said na parang, bakit daw ayoko daw sa mga Tulfo? I didn't say ayoko sa mga Tulfo. Ang sinasabi ko lang is, ang dami na nila doon. Yun lang, sana lang isang Tulfo.
Tatlo is a bit...
Three.
I think Rafi is doing a great job alone. I mean, like... Sige na nga, Erwin, Rich Elrin.
Tapos Erwin pa, and now si Ben ba? Yung isa si Ben o si Ramon? Si Ben, right?
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
So yun lang ang sa akin more than anything. So it's not to say
it's a bit
that...
too much, yeah.
I'm not calling them like... Hindi ko sabi mga botante, ang tatangan nyo. No, it's not that. I understand why. Here's the thing. That's why I encourage Bam and Kiko. If they're gonna to make it to the top 12, man, make noise, do something, be viral, do something that'll make us not a stupid statement, make a statement like how the Dutertes do, that'll make people go, oh my God, did he say that?
Pero sabi mo, di ba, wag natin patulan yung mga ganyan. Then now you're saying, be viral.
Hindi.
Kailangan ba lang sabi ni Bam, sasapakin ko yung mukha niya. Amunin niya si Baste.
So, wag naman sana in the form of violence or mga pag-iinsulto. Pero definitely, they can come up with a statement that can make them come
Catchy,
out. Medyo, kahit na nga medyo alanganin, just for people to talk to you, talk about you, whether it's against you or for you, publicity is publicity, good or bad.
Yeah.
Just get your name out there.
Medyo risque. Ako, I just want to add one more thing to that. I agree with that. Ako, to be honest, sa tingin ko, hindi pa rin naintindihan ng tao ano ba talagang trabaho ng isang senador. In fact, I think Willie, when he was running himself, when he was asked, anong platform? Mamaya natin pag-usapan. Like, even the candidates don't seem to know. Ano ba yung trabaho ng, like, the idea that they have to fiscalize, they have to know the nitty-gritties of the Constitution, they have to check the budget, scrutinize the activities of the government. So I think, ang laki ng political education deficit natin. So, I mean, as a teacher myself, right, I feel responsible na nakakulang kami sa education system. So, in my own little ways, as a blogger, as a media practitioner, I just want to remind people, hindi po trabaho ng senador na magbibigay ng libreng pamahay o ayuda. Ang trabaho po ng senador is nasisiguraduhin niya hindi magkakaroon ng abuso sa GAA, call hearings. I would add another thing. I think, in fairness naman sa mga tao, nakita naman nila yung mga hearings after hearings after hearings. Ang problema is, walang nangyari afterwards. Yung Farmali hearings, for instance, where did it go?
Right.
And that's why, mahalaga yung Sara impeachment issue. Because if this also doesn't go anywhere, the whole function of the Congress, and here I mean it in a constitutional sense, upper house and lower house.
Right.
The whole function of Congress as a fiscalizer, as a checks and balance institution, will be questioned by the Filipino people. And essentially, Filipino people might only look at senators as the baby presidents na nagbibigay ng ayuda. Because congressmen are sometimes also treated that way. And I always say, bakit ka parang, galit lang ba kayo sa corruption dahil walang ayuda dumating sa inyo? Parang, I say, whenever you get free parang support from the office of the mayor, for yung kasal, for birthday, ganon, sa tingin mo ba, kung hindi ito galing sa welfare budget, DSWD, saan galing yan?
Yeah.
Kung galing sa kanyang pocket yan, do you think taos puso yan? Do you think that, that's what I'm saying. So we are part of the culture of corruption.
Pare, alam mo, I went around Mandaluyong the other day to give out my flyers and everything. Nagpapakilala ako. Alam mo, I noticed several of my constituents in Mandaluyong, mga Mandaleños, ang unang sinabi sa akin was, wala ka bang pamerienda dyan? I was surprised. Talagang hindi ako makasagot. I was like, wala po eh. Pasensya na. And I said to them, pasensya na po kasi hindi ako politiko, hindi ko po alam yung ganitong kalakaran. Ganito ba yun?
Yeah.
Oo, dapat may pamerienda ka. And then nung isa naman, nagtataka ako why everyone was asking for a flyer. Pagdaan ko, alam mo narinig nung isang volunteer ko kung bakit atat na atat makakuha ng flyer. Sabi nila, walang paipit. Dapat may nakaipit. Dapat alam na yun, may nakaipit. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh my God.
That whole subculture,
So I realized something. So I computed it. I said, 100,000 voters in Mandaluyong. Each one will get, say, paipit ng what?
100 pesos.
100 pesos.
Yeah.
That's already 10 million pesos. Ang tanong ko sa inyo, kung magbibigay ako ng 10 million pesos.
From your own pocket.
Oh, from my own pocket. serbisyo ba talaga ang gagawin ko kaya ako tatakbo? At saan ko kukunin yan? So, yung corruption na nakikita natin ay nag-uumpisa sa mga grassroots dahil na-normalize niya sa ating mga kababayan. Natingin nila harmless itong pagkukuha. Mayaman ka naman magiging kongresista ka naman o magiging councilor ka, magbigay ka naman. Pero yung paghingi mo niyan ay ang punot dulo ng pagkakaroon ng korupsyon at kaya nagiging korap ang mga binoboto natin. Kasi sinasabi ko sa inyo, itigil na natin tong paghihingi ng merienda. Dahil isipin mo, magkano merienda mo? What? 50 pesos, 100 pesos? Pero ang kapalit niyan ay ubos ang pera sa kaban ng bayan na pumupunta sa bulsa ng mga taong binoboto nyo dahil kailangan nilang bawiin itong binigay nila sa'yo na 10 million para sa merienda, para sa paipit. Yun yung nakikita kong problema na hindi nila naiintindihan.
Or what if pamirienda sila dun sa kurakot pero butuin nila yung malinis na katulad mo? Di ba yun yun? Bawal yan, by the way.
Pero, okay. I like that.
Off the record.
Yeah, I like what you said. Pero isipin mo yan. Kung tinanggap nila yan sa akin, tingin mo ba malinis ako?
Yun lang.
Kung tinanggap nila yan sa akin at may ganyan akong budget, ano ibig sabihin niya? Malinis ba talaga ako?
Yeah, exactly.
O papogi lang yan, window dressing.
ROI.
Kaya lang, mag-ROI din ako. Pagkakakitaan ko pa rin to. Yun ang kaalalahanin nyo. Kaya kung tanggapin nyo yung merienda na yan, isipin mo ang kapalit niyan. Ikaw nakakuha ka ng 50 pesos, 100 pesos. Sabihin na nga natin 1,000 pesos. Magkano yung nakuha nung pinanalo mong kandidato mo para sa 1,000 mo? Nakuha niya milyon ang kapalit nun. Kaya please lang, mag-isip-isip tayo na wag na tayo humihingi ng pang-merienda. At hindi ako magbibigay ng pang-merienda. Hindi ako magbibigay. At ngayon alam ko na sasabihin ko pag tinanong sa akin. Ate, pag binigyan kita ng pang-merienda mo, siguraduhin mo na, may kapalit yan. May kukunin ako mas malaki, babawiin ko yan. Ikaw may 100. For every 100 I give you, baka 1,000 makuha ko.
Buti merienda lang, hindi lechon. But I think this goes to the last part of our discussion for today. And we want to do more of this. I enjoyed it. That was great. I think we compressed a lot into like that 47 minutes, 49 seconds. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, I want to talk about issues that are closer to us at the level of individuals. Now, speaking of lechon, speaking of food and healthy lifestyle, how do you keep fit, bro? Like, what is your routine? Do you have like intermittent fasting? Do you have like low carbs diet? Do you do regular exercise, marathoner? Let's talk about that, bro. Let's hindi man